Sun and moon stood still in the heavens at the glint of your flying arrows, at the lightning of your flashing spear. Habakkuk 3:10. Verse 11 dovetails off of verse 10. Recall the idea of arrows mentioned in verse 10. As you can tell, it gives more images of war, and these would have resonated with the peoples of ancient Judah and Babylon, for whom the book of Habakkuk was written. Another thing that would have resonated would have been a supernatural event. Our so-called modern world tries to discredit divine supernatural events that occurred in the Bible, but we do so out of foolish idolatry. It's foolish because if you believe in Jesus, then you accept that the miraculous things in the Bible that they all describe, they actually happen. I like that the Bible describes big, unusual things occurring in our natural world, miracles that happen out of the ordinary. It's one of the things I find most comforting about God, namely that He's miraculous, big, and extraordinary, when so much of our common worldly sin just isn't. One of those miracles is prayed here. Recall the episode of the book of Joshua where the sun stood still in the sky for a whole day while Israel battled the Amorites. This happened during the conquest of Canaan. After the events of Exodus and the subsequent multi-generational repentance in the desert, the wandering, Joshua and Israel crossed over into the Promised Land. On God's orders, and with His power leading the way, they battled the pagans who had desecrated God's land and His promises. One of those was a Gibeonite king of Jerusalem, who formed an alliance with his neighboring cities to fight the Israelites. This is the second mention of Jerusalem in the Bible, with the first mention of it being in Abraham's lifetime, with Melchizedek, many, many centuries before. But several things about this time in the life of Joshua make it significant. First is that it mentions by name as a primary city in Canaan. And the second is that while fighting the city's ruler nearby, Joshua called on God to stop the sun in the sky, and it happened. It was the only time in history when God responded to a man sort of directing him to do something. It happened during a battle in which Israel won, because God's power in stopping the sun and performing other miraculous signs all occurred. Could Israel have won the battle without God? Doubtful. Indeed, Israel couldn't have won any of the battles it fought if God hadn't been supernaturally fighting for them. I encourage you to read the entire book of Joshua to learn more. And I think you'll find, as I do, that it's a wonderful comfort knowing God performed supernatural signs then, because He still does now. Every safe moment we know, every day, is proof positive that it still happens. It's still foolish idolatry to deny the supernatural, because it's actually denying belief in God and Jesus Himself.